In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on March 5th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Dallas Mavericks versus Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks are set to face the Dallas Mavericks at Pfizer Forum in what promises to be an intriguing matchup. This game will mark the conclusion of their 2-game regular season series. In their previous encounter last Saturday, the Bucks dominated the Mavericks with a 132-117 victory, covering the 2.5-point spread as road favorites. The Bucks' performance in that game showcased their ability to control the pace and execute effectively on both ends of the floor. The Mavericks are dealing with a significant number of injuries, which has left them severely short-handed. Key players such as Caleb Martin, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Dante Exum, and PJ Washington have already been ruled out for this game. On the other hand, the Bucks are nearly at full strength, with only Pat Connaughton sidelined due to injury. The Mavericks' injury situation has reached a critical point, especially with the recent news about Kyrie Irving's absence. Their injury report has been grim over the past few weeks, and the situation has only worsened. There are now reports suggesting that Anthony Davis might consider sitting out the remainder of the season. This not only limits their available players, but also takes a mental toll on the team. Given these circumstances, it wouldn't be surprising if the Mavericks struggle to compete in this road game. After all, the Bucks managed to defeat them by 15 points just a few days ago, even while playing on the road. Despite being on the second night of a back-to-back, the Bucks have been strong at home, boasting a 20-9 straight-up record. Every game is crucial for them as they aim to secure home court advantage for the first round of the playoffs. Even though the Bucks are playing on consecutive nights, the Mavericks' injury woes and inconsistent offense put them at a significant disadvantage. In their last game, the Mavericks relied heavily on their bench players as the starters failed to deliver. Milwaukee, on the other hand, ranks among the top 5 teams in effective field goal percentage and is consistently near the top and made 3-pointers per game. Dallas has struggled all season with closing out possessions and generating turnovers, which could make it difficult for them to contain Milwaukee's high-powered offense. The Bucks' ability to shoot efficiently and spread the floor could prove too much for the Mavericks to handle. The Mavericks' recent struggles are compounded by their growing list of injuries, which shows no signs of easing up. Meanwhile, the Bucks have been steadily improving. Despite a less than convincing win over the Hawks last night, they possess too much talent and depth to lose to this depleted Mavericks squad. It's challenging to find many positives for the Mavericks at this point, given their current state. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Bucks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Mavericks will feel the absence of Kyrie Irving, their best player, as his scoring will be sorely missed. On the other side, the Bucks will have to manage fatigue from playing on back-to-back nights. Dallas failed to reach the 100-point mark in their last game against Sacramento, and Milwaukee's defense is arguably stronger than the Kings. Given these factors, I'm leaning toward the under on the total points. The under has hit in 5 of the Mavericks' last 6 games and in 5 of the Bucks' previous 7. While these two teams combined for 249 points in their last meeting, I don't anticipate a similarly high-scoring game at Pfizer Forum. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Sacramento Kings versus Denver Nuggets. The Sacramento Kings, who currently hold a record of 32 wins and 28 losses, are set to face off against the Denver Nuggets, who stand at 39 wins and 22 losses, in a Western Conference showdown on Wednesday night at Ball Arena. This matchup marks the third of 4 scheduled games between the two teams this season, with the Nuggets having secured victories in the first 2 encounters. The Kings are closely monitoring the status of Malik Monk, who is listed as questionable for this game. On the other side, The Nuggets have their own injury concerns, with Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon, and Zeke Nnaji all being questionable as well. So far this season, the Nuggets have taken both previous games against the Kings, but each contest was decided by single-digit margins, suggesting that this upcoming game could be another tightly contested battle. The Nuggets are entering this game after a rare loss, though it's worth noting that defeat came at the hands of the Boston Celtics, who have been dominating nearly every opponent they've faced recently. When it comes to three-point shooting, the Nuggets rank third in the league with an impressive 38.1% success rate from beyond the arc, while the Kings sit at 20th in the NBA with a 35.1% three-point shooting percentage. The gap between the two teams is also reflected in their net ratings this season. Sacramento holds the 10th spot in the league with a 2.1 net rating, while Denver is 5th with a 5.2 net rating. While there are arguments to be made for both sides, the current line feels just narrow enough to make the Nuggets, playing at home, a solid choice. As our first pick for this matchup, the Denver Nuggets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In their first two meetings this season, the Nuggets and Kings combined for 259 and 255 points, respectively. However, recent trends from both teams suggest that this game could be much lower scoring. It would take a strong offensive effort from both sides to push the score over the projected total, and based on their current form, that seems unlikely. With Nikola Jokic not performing at full strength, the Nuggets offense is expected to take a step back, especially considering how well the Kings have been playing defensively. Sacramento has held its last four opponents to under 104 points, and Denver has been held below 113 points in 3 of their last 5 games. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Memphis Grizzlies. On Wednesday evening, the Oklahoma City Thunder and Memphis Grizzlies will face off at the FedEx Forum. The Thunder are coming off a win against the Houston Rockets in their last game, while the Grizzlies are looking to bounce back after a loss to the Atlanta Hawks. The Thunder will still be without Alex Caruso, and Isaiah Joe is listed as questionable for the game. On the other side, the Grizzlies are dealing with their own injury concerns. Jaren Jackson Jr. remains out, and John Conchar, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Santi Aldama are all questionable. The Grizzlies are likely eager to get back on the court and secure a win to shake off the frustration of Monday's loss. However, their injury situation is far from ideal, with several key players either sidelined or uncertain to play. Morant missed his second straight game as the Grizzlies fell to the Hawks, but the bigger concern is Jaren Jackson Jr.'s ankle injury. Jackson hurt his left ankle while contesting a shot near the basket and was visibly in pain as he limped to the locker room. Given how he looked, it's reasonable to assume he'll miss this game. Oklahoma City, a top 10 team in both paint points and fast break points, will likely take advantage of his absence. The Thunder have had the upper hand in recent matchups, winning the first meeting by 24 points and the second by 13. The most recent game between these two teams took place less than a month ago in Memphis. Since 2022, the Thunder have dominated the Grizzlies, winning 7 straight games and covering the spread in 6 of those matchups. Memphis has also struggled against the spread recently, going 0-7-1 in their last 8 games. Oklahoma City has controlled the rebounding and turnover battles in their head-to-head matchups this season. They're the best team in the league at forcing missed shots, holding Memphis to just 41% shooting, while the Thunder have shot 46.6% against the Grizzlies. It's tough to bet against the Thunder right now, not only because they keep winning, but also because they've been excellent at covering the spread, with a 64.9% cover rate that ranks second in the NBA. Only the Cleveland Cavaliers have been better in that regard. The Thunder's recent dominance over the Grizzlies makes it even harder to go against them, as they've won 7 straight in this matchup and covered the spread in 6 of those games. About a month ago, the Thunder dismantled the Grizzlies on the road, scoring 125 points with ease. Memphis has been struggling over the past few weeks, dealing with a slew of injuries and going 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. The Thunder, on the other hand, have been more consistent and relatively healthy. As our first pick for this matchup, the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total has gone over in 7 straight games for the Thunder and 4 of the last 5 for the Grizzlies. Both teams rank in the top 6 in pace this season, so expect a fast-paced game with plenty of possessions. They're also both top 6 in offensive rating, which should lead to plenty of scoring. Oklahoma City has scored over 125 points in 7 consecutive games, and they're facing a Grizzlies defense that has allowed 131 points per game on 51.1% shooting over their last 5. The Thunder's offense should have no trouble putting up points. However, the Grizzlies have also been scoring well lately, averaging 129 points on 49.7% shooting in their last 5 games. They could exploit a Thunder defense that has been inconsistent recently, as Oklahoma City has given up 126 points per game on 47.9% shooting over their last 5. I expect Yamorn to return for this game after missing the last 2, and his presence will be crucial if Jaren Jackson Jr. remains out. Memphis has lost 3 straight games in disappointing fashion, giving up over 130 points in 2 of those contests. Now, they face the top team in the Western Conference. The total has gone over in 7 straight games for the Thunder and in 4 of the last 5 against the Grizzlies. While Oklahoma City's defense is typically strong, they've shown some vulnerability recently, allowing 128 points to a depleted Houston team and 132 points to the Spurs in back-to-back games. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Detroit Pistons versus Los Angeles Clippers. The NBA schedule heats up on Wednesday, March 5, 2025, with 8 games set to take place across the league. One of the standout matchups is a cross-conference showdown at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California, where the Detroit Pistons will face off against the Los Angeles Clippers. This will be the second and final meeting between these 2 teams during the regular season. When they last played just a week ago, the Pistons came out on top with a 106-97 victory as 3-point home favorites. Both teams are dealing with significant injuries heading into this game. The Pistons will be without Jaden Ivey and Tobias Harris, while the Clippers are once again missing Ben Simmons, Derrick Jones Jr., and Norman Powell. Despite these absences, the Pistons have been playing some of their best basketball of the season and are riding high after a dominant performance against the Jazz in their last game. On the other hand, the Clippers have been struggling to find their rhythm over the past few weeks and continue to be hampered by injuries to key players. Detroit has been one of the hottest teams in the NBA recently, winning 9 of their last 10 games and looking impressive in the process. They've been particularly strong on the road, boasting an 18-13 record away from home, which is actually better than their home record. This trend could continue against a Clippers team that will be playing on the second night of a back-to-back after facing the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday. The Clippers are also dealing with a growing list of injuries, with Norman Powell and Derrick Jones Jr. already ruled out for Wednesday's game. To make matters worse, Los Angeles has lost 5 of their last 6 games and is struggling to stay afloat. It's possible that the Clippers could use their recent struggles as motivation to bounce back, but it's just as likely that their poor form could push them further into a slump. Last night's loss wasn't an isolated incident. Los Angeles has now dropped 6 of their last 7 games and has fallen to the 9th seed in the standings. With this game being the second leg of a back-to-back, it's worth keeping an eye on the injury report to see if Kawhi Leonard or other key players will be rested. The current line suggests that might be the case. Meanwhile, the Pistons are well rested and playing with confidence, showcasing their best basketball in a decade. These 2 teams are clearly heading in opposite directions, and the Clippers' recent performances don't inspire much confidence. When these teams met a couple of weeks ago, the Pistons held the Clippers to just 97 points on 40% shooting, further highlighting their defensive prowess. While the Clippers still have enough talent to potentially pull off an upset at home, the Pistons are simply too hot to ignore right now. Their current form makes them a tough team to bet against, especially with the short line in this matchup. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Pistons to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Defensively, the Clippers have been one of the stronger teams in the NBA this season, though they've had some recent hiccups. Still, they've shown flashes of their defensive capabilities, like when they held the new-look Lakers to 108 or fewer points in back-to-back games. When the Clippers and Pistons faced off last week, the game turned into a defensive battle, with the 2 teams combining for just 203 points. Detroit has also stepped up their defensive efforts lately, allowing just 105 points per game over their last 5 outings, which is a significant improvement from their season averages. The Pistons play at a relatively fast pace, ranking 7th in the NBA with 99.9 possessions per 48 minutes. However, they're middle of the pack when it comes to 3-point shooting, ranking 21st in 3-point rate and 14th in 3-point percentage. Their success has largely been built on their defense, which makes the under an appealing option when they face the Clippers, who also pride themselves on strong defensive play. Los Angeles ranks 20th in pace and 24th in 3-point rate. In their previous meeting, Detroit and Los Angeles combined for just 203 points, easily staying under the 220.5-point total. The under has also hit in 6 of the last 8 matchups between these 2 teams. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.